After playing and making videos about the One Ring for over a year and a half, it's time to talk about the starter set. What is it, what's in it, what do I like, and what do I not like? So let's get into it. Let's start with what's in the box. There are two 12-sided feat dice, 6 6-sided success dice, a 24-page rulebook, a 52-page booklet that covers the Shire in great detail, a 31-page booklet of Shire adventures, 8 pre-generated character sheets to use with the adventures, 30 war gear cards, 6 double-sided cards with combat stances on one side and journey rolls on the other, a beautiful map with the Shire on one side and Eriador on the other. Just a side note here, I only have the PDF version, not the physical copy. The PDF comes with everything except the dice. It even comes with the war gear and combat/journey cards that you could print off and give to players. I didn't print any of these off, but I can see that they would be pretty helpful for new players, especially the combat stances, which is something that I've found takes a while to really understand and to use. The cards include what type of combat task each stance can perform, but not what those tasks actually do. I feel like it would have been better to include the task rules on the opposite side of the cards instead of the journey rolls, since those are much more straightforward. The war gear cards I quite like. One side features the very nice pencil art for each item, while the opposite side gives a brief description and all the important information that goes with it. For example, the damage, injury rating, load, special damage options, and protection rating for armor. It would be nice to have what the special damage options do, but I understand the limitations of the card size. A lot of the information on the cards maybe could have been placed on the back of the character sheets to give a bit more space. The character sheets include a pencil sketch of each character and a bit more about the characters, which is nice, but that space might have been used for more useful information. The starter set comes with white dice. Since I only have the PDF version, I didn't get any. However, I bought the black ones separately when I got Runes of the Lost Realm. They're a bit smaller than what I was expecting, but otherwise they're good. Not necessary at all to play the game, but it does make it extra exciting when rolling a G rune or an I. The maps that come with this set are terrific. They are probably my favorite thing here. The Shire map takes the existing map of the Shire by J.R.R. Tolkien that was later updated by his son Christopher, and added some beautiful color and a plethora of wonderful little details like animals, farmers, travelers, and little vignettes of Hobbiton and Buckland in the corners. On the reverse side of the Shire map is a different version of Eriador that is not found in the core rules, and it too is amazing. It is just so beautifully illustrated. I love the colors, the intricate letters spelling out Eriador, and the 10 vignettes of notable locations. The rulebook gives you everything you will need to play the included adventures. There is a brief overview of how RPGs work, a condensed explanation of the structure of the game, and understanding the unique dice. The book covers all the mechanics like hope and shadow, and conditions like being weary, but not the miserable condition. Combat is covered, but strangely not councils or journeys. There is, however, a very basic system of journey rolls in the Shire Compendium. Because this starter set is built for specific pre-generated characters, there is nothing in here to build characters of your own. There are also no adversaries included here, just the ones that are in the adventures themselves. The Shire Compendium is a terrific little read if you want to know more about the Shire, and if you are wanting to make some adventures that take place there, then you will find all the information you could possibly want here. The booklet contains a brief history of the Shire and how it was first settled by Hobbits, a timeline of important dates, information about the culture of Hobbits, and then an extensive section on the different farthings of the Shire. There is also a bunch of small adventure hooks, unique tables for journey events to use during cross-country travel while in the Shire, or what is happening at the many inns you'll encounter, a new distinctive feature for Hobbits called Fairy Blood, and a lot more. I really enjoyed this booklet. I don't know how much of the information about the many locations are canon, and James Michael Spahn, if you happen to come across this video, I would love to hear what is from your imagination and what is from Tolkien. Regardless of how much is from the canon here, it's really good and feels authentic to the world Tolkien created. Now on to the adventures. When I first heard about the starter set, and its adventures being set entirely in the Shire with only Hobbit characters, I thought, that is an interesting choice. Still, the group that I play with chose to be all Hobbits, and the Shire is obviously a place where not a lot of hard conflict or challenges happen, especially during the time period in which the One Ring takes place. So I had hoped that this would give me some fun adventures to supplement the ones that I made up, and be a great fit for my group. However, in my opinion, the adventures are the weakest part of the starter set. I really wish that the choice to make the starter set Shire-focused had paid off, but there isn't enough in these adventures to really excite me. The first exposure I had to RPGs was the D&D starter set with the Lost Mines of Phandelver adventure. When I read that, I was so blown away. My mind was just going crazy with all the possibilities as I saw what could be done with RPGs. There were so many paths you could take or miss entirely, and it all felt so big. The One Ring starter set adventures feel really small. There are some good ideas here, which I will spoil slightly. I like the idea of finding the Bull Roarers Club and sneaking into the Matham House is fun in theory. I just feel like the execution didn't quite land. The final adventure is probably the best, and I enjoy the resolution of it and the connection to characters from Lord of the Rings. But all in all, there's not enough for me here to feel terribly interested in playing these adventures as someone who is already familiar with the One Ring and RPGs in general. And I don't know that if this was my first experience with an RPG, I would be as excited as I was when I first read The Lost Mines of Phandelver. I hope I don't come across too harsh against these adventures. They're not bad, but I do feel they are missing something extra to make them noteworthy. There are 5 adventures in this set that can be played in sequence or in a slightly random order, but overall they feel very linear. There are a few choices that players can make that don't really make much difference, and that's too bad. In order to really make these special, I think the lore master will have to put in a lot of prep work beforehand or be very good at improvising on the fly. I know it might have been weird to set the starter adventures in a different time period than the rest of the game, but I do wonder if these adventures could have been set during the Fell Winter or the Battle of the Greenfields. You could still start with some cozy hobbity stories, but then transition into rallying troops using the council rules, and then end the adventures with a big climactic battle with wolves or goblins. And then maybe, if players want to keep playing as hobbits, they could make their own characters, who are the descendants of those starting pre-generated characters. Anyway, thinking about these starter adventures made me also realize how in my own Hobbit-focused adventure, there wasn't really much to do. It was more just a location with some NPCs to use. Shire-based Hobbit adventures are hard, unless you really want to roleplay the calm, rustic lifestyle of the Shire folk. Still, I think there's a way you could have something that feels authentic to the Shire, but still have some fun options and not be combat-focused. So, I'm going to work on something, using the basic idea of the Bull Roarers Club, and come back with another adventure, at some point, which I will share. I only have a loose idea right now, so it might prove to not be as good as I think it is, but hopefully it'll be fun. So, what are my final thoughts on the One Ring starter set? If you are looking to get into the game for the first time, or not that interested in the Shire, you're probably better off just going straight to the core rules, and then if you want a pre-written adventure, grab Tales from the Lone Lands, which I might do a full review on at some point, but if you want the short version, I thoroughly enjoyed it. On the whole, I do think there's a lot of good stuff in this starter set box. Even though I already have the PDF version of all of this, the incredible maps and the dice still make me consider buying a physical copy. And if you plan to write a lot of adventures set in the Shire and want a great source of information to start from, then this starter set is certainly worth looking at. That's all for now. If you have the starter set and some thoughts, please share them below to help others decide whether or not this set is for them. I'm not quite sure what the next video out on this channel will be, probably an adventure. I feel like it's been a while. I've got 2 ideas, so I'm not sure which I will work on first. The Hobbit one mentioned earlier, or a return to Valhalla from my first adventure. I'm very excited to write both of them. So, thank you so much for watching, have a great day.